Thank you, everyone. One statistic that they didn't hit too, just for all the alums before us, just to give you a reference point, I was born in 1986, so. Just throwing that out. First of all, before I get started, what I want to do is I want to thank MHS, I want to thank Dr. Gerard, Dr. Myers, Dr. Kroll, what you guys put on this weekend, this whole ceremony, even being considered. It's an honor to be standing next to every one of these inductees, and it was truly amazing to be a part of something this weekend. This is truly something special. Never in a million years did I ever think I'd be getting an award from MHS. To be honest with you, I'm lucky I got a diploma. Yeah, Gerard knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, if I could turn back time to see Dr. Gerard's face 15 years ago and say, hey, I'm going to be a distinguished alumni, probably would have lost him right then and there. Probably would have lost him. So, yeah, before I get started, I just want to thank everybody. So I probably wrote this speech 3 or 4 times in like a million different formats, and nothing really hit home. So I wrote a million things about me and my accomplishments, how I got there, my path. My biggest thing for me is it's not about me, why I'm standing here today. Why I'm standing here today is because of everybody at this table, some of this table, some of this table. It's everybody that put time into me. So I wanted to make sure that even though I'm getting this award, that everybody knows that I'm standing here because of amazing people besides myself. So one thing I wanted to mention was a couple weeks back, I was running around the house trying to get everything ready to go out with my boys. I was foolish enough to leave some channel going on the TV. And they were talking about different politicians, athletes, people in the media. And right in front of the TV was my 3-year-old right here, this little guy. And the topic of the day was, who is your hero? What motivates you to do what you do? So he looks at me and he goes, Dad, are these guys your hero? I said, oh God, no, not a chance. Not a chance. So what I did is I looked back at Logan and I said, absolutely not. They never have been and they never will be. I said, Logan, my hero, what motivates me are the people you see on a daily basis that don't get awards, they don't get millions of dollars, they don't get TV airtime. Well, what they do is they put in blood, sweat, and tears to other people. So, if you know Logan, he was trying to process all this. I saw a little hamster in the, running in the wheel. His confused look on his face. So before the kid hurt himself, I needed to explain a little bit what I was talking about. So I said, Logan, there are amazing people you see every day that do amazing things that don't get paid millions. They don't get to be on TV or get recognition at all. There are neighbors, teachers, baseball coaches, Boy Scout leaders, veterans, parents, and grandparents that contribute to what you are every single day. So they do it not because of you or themselves. They do it purely because they want to see you get better. It's selflessness, and that's kind of why I'm standing here today. These people are the people that I admire most because they made me what I am today and never quit. I'm a smart mouth, ungrateful kid back in the day. Yeah, like you guys all laugh because you know what the hell I'm talking about. Yes. Without them, I would not be where I am. And I would never have helped the people that I have so far in my life. When I was growing up, I was a very active, smart-mouthed, disrespectful person. I had dozens of detentions, in-school suspensions, and out-of-school suspensions. All of it was because I didn't know when to shut up. Still kind of don't, but whatever. I gave people every chance to hate me and give up on me, and a lot of people did. A lot of people did. It wanted nothing to do with me. But a lot of people didn't, and they invested the time in me to make me better. They saw something in me that I didn't. They gave me a second chance. Wake-up calls when I needed them, and they dragged me home by my ear to my parents when I needed it most. Mario knows. Teresa knows. People that were there for me on a daily basis. When I wasn't getting into trouble, I was living and breathing baseball. I couldn't get enough of it, and I wish it went year-round. I was always an average player, because when I was a kid, I was slow and I was shaped like a pair of legs. So, was never really good at stealing bases. I didn't quite understand what it took to be good. I didn't understand the dedication, the sweat, and listening it took to be above the rest until one day I was drafted by a Little League coach named Jeff Sweeney. Jeff Sweeney was also one of the varsity coaches today from Mundelein High School. He spent countless hours over the years when I was on his team helping me learn how to hit, pitch, and increase my baseball IQ. He knew I could never be more athletic than the kids that were on that field that day, or any other day, but he knew I could be smarter. He spent countless hours before and after practice teaching me about form and where to play and how to play. Things that would differentiate me from the rest. But I didn't know it at the time. And now, all of the things he taught me over the years, I have passed down to dozens and dozens of kids playing youth baseball. Our baseball team last year, bunch of 8-year-old kids we put together, we trained, they worked hard, blood, sweat, tears. They played in the 9U travel division and they won second place. Year up. Wasn't because of me, it's because these kids listened, they worked their butts off, and they played their butts off, and they had fun. The other thing I loved and lived for most was scouting. I loved camping, hiking, rappelling, and all the other cool things we got to do as kids. The time when I was in Scouts was also the time when I was at my worst. However, Scout leaders like Dave Brooks, Rick and Denise Nation, and several others never told me that I couldn't be a part of anything. They always told me that I was a gigantic pain in the ass, deemed me as the Antichrist, but they knew I had unlimited potential and they never quit. They still invested time in me and taught me countless things over the years, including respect. When others were giving me detentions and reprimand, they were always putting me in charge of other scouts to see where I could strive and what I could do. Dave Brooks and the scout leaders of Troop 198 here in Mundelein will always be heroes in my eyes, and I would do whatever it takes to make any one of those kids better. If it wasn't for them, my path in life would have been completely different. And I hope they know and understand what they do truly matters, and they are more influential to kids than they will ever know. The best thing about them is that if you go to a scout meeting today, on a Tuesday in St. Andrews, these guys will still be standing up there helping kids. And I've been out of Scouts for 17 years. So what they do impresses me every day. The last thing I truly loved was giving teachers a hard time, especially at MHS. Yeah, look, I had Dr. Kroll, I had Gerard, they know. I was a relatively smart kid, but I was lazy. I ended up graduating with a 2.1 GPA and a 21 on the ACTs. Screams average. I never saw the big picture, and sitting in class bored me to death. So to keep me busy, I ran my mouth constantly and challenged the teachers as much as I could. I had a ton of detentions and multiple suspensions. There was almost to a point where I had a speed dial on Mr. Bolt's dean's office. Every time I went in there, we were like best friends with my parents. But there was one turning point. I took a psychology class with a teacher by the name of Dr. Gerard. For some reason, messing with Dr. Gerard was more fun than messing with the other teachers. Still is. It was more fun because he understood me, and he let a lot of things I said and did roll off his back. Thus, I had to try harder, and I always liked a good challenge. After a few weeks, I decided to test my limits to get to him. We were doing a class exercise that you could see Dr. Gerard was excited for. He spent a lot of time prepping for. And instead of going along with it, I ended up distracting the whole class. And Dr. Gerard couldn't even get the exercise started. He asked me to go into the hall so we could proceed, and so I said something smart back to him. And I still remember it to this day, where it was that moment in time where you say something to your parents and you instantly want those 10 seconds back. Because you knew what was coming. But he did. He took me off into the hallway, You could see his face was beet red, madder than a hornet. And it was then in that hallway where I was waiting for something just to explode. And he looked at me and he said, he's like, I don't care if you make comments in class. I don't care if you do your homework assignments. He says, what pisses me off is you have unlimited potential and you don't use it. Because one day you could be something great. And I'll never forget that because something clicked right then and there. And I said, well, that took an odd turn. So the rest of that class, I thought about it. And I sat there and said, maybe I'll try something different. So I ended up finishing that class on a good note. I ended up getting probably one of my BAs in MHS and made a friend for life. Well, Dr. G, since that day, I've led a 7-man sniper section in Afghanistan, was nationally ranked marksman for the military, was awarded the Purple Heart for Meritorious Service Medal, graduated with a 396 for my undergraduate degree, got an MBA from Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management with the Dean's Distinguished Service Honor, was awarded the 2013 Federal Employee of the Year, was awarded the 2016 Presidential Service Award, oversee quality for hundreds of millions of dollars of medical equipment on a daily basis, teach the best 9U travel baseball team, and it's only the beginning. So thank you for not quitting on a smart mouth 2.1 GPA. And also for the record, that was an easy class. Yeah. Last year. So lastly, during this, I look back at Logan, my 3-year-old, who's probably half asleep tonight because I'm on a tirade. And I say, Logan, my heroes are also Mima and Mipa, and I don't tell them that enough. Now that I'm a father, I realize how hard my father worked raising me. He was a cop for 30 years, worked nights, and somehow still managed to take me all of my baseball and football practices. He was there for me when I was 10 to 25 years old, proofreading every single homework assignment even before I submitted in my MBA program at midnight before the day it was due. And never once did he have a negative comment on it. He always said, good job. But most of all, he never gave up on me. He let me fail when he knew I was wrong and never stopped telling me how proud of me he was. He is a man that will give up his shirt off his back for someone and expect nothing in return. And I can't tell him enough how proud I am to be his son. So Logan looked back to me and he said, yeah, but Dad, he's grouchy. I said, ain't that the truth? I said, you would be too if you were married to Mima. But he didn't buy into that because he knows Mima's his favorite as he's sitting on my mom's lap right now. My mom spoils him to death. My mom is truly someone that is special, that is probably the toughest old bird that I know. If there was anyone on this earth that I challenged more, it was her every single day. Shut up. She has made countless sacrifices for me, both in time and money over the years. She never quit on me and always supported everything that I wanted to do, even if it was crazy and stupid. She is probably the toughest, most selfless, most optimistic person I know, and it drives me crazy. To this very day, she fights 2 forms of cancer on a daily basis and manages to babysit her 5 grandkids multiple times per week with a smile on her face, always looking on the bright side every day. She has more strength than I will ever have. When others see, she is by far the best mom a son could ask for, and will always be a hero of mine that motivates me on a daily basis to be better for both myself, others, and my children. So at this time, I look back at Logan and say, all of these people are amazing and made me what I am. But there are 2 people that are the biggest heroes that I look up to more than anyone on this earth. And he goes, who's that, Daddy? I said, that's you and your brother Trevor. His face was shocked and amazement, and he said, why? I said, you teach me how to be a father on a daily basis. All the other people made me who I am, but you guys are the heroes of motivation that make me who I will be. You guys don't even know how special you truly are to so many people. You guys will help more people than I ever will and make an impact on this world that is truly great. A few weeks back, when I was walking into the store with Logan, he lets go of my hand and just sprints across the parking lot. And you know that parent moment where you're like, well, get back here. I was furious. I couldn't even imagine what was going through his mind. So he sprinted for me, and I see him go to the front door, and this little 3-year-old sausage is trying to manhandle this aluminum door so a lady with a walker can get through. When I watched this 30-pound, 3-foot meatball try to manhandle this door open with all of his might for this woman, I knew he was truly something special and will be. And I can't wait to see what he turns out to be. He came back to me at that same time, and the first thing out of his mouth says, Daddy, I need to start working out more. I don't know where he gets it from. Not his father. So at that point in time, he's getting back to Trevor, we're having a conversation. He goes, Daddy, what about Stinky Trev? My 8-year-old dog. I said, Logan, your brother is an amazing kid that is my #1 hero and someone that I admire most out of everyone. He's stronger than I ever will be. He is the sweetest, most considerate kid that never quits. He picks up litter wherever we go, and he does it because, Dad, it's the right thing to do. When he was 6, Trevor spent months practicing baseball before his season started. Months. Loved it. Before the first game, he broke his left arm. He broke it and was benched the rest of the season. Broke my heart as a parent. Instead, what he did is he stayed on that bench every single game and every single practice as I coached the other kids, and he cheered them on. 6 months later, after the season was over, we were starting fall ball. He fell in gym and broke his right arm. At this point in time, as a parent, you're like, ew, I'm stuck with these kids again, but now I can't play it. I was absolutely devastated for Trevor at the time. For the kid, because he couldn't play in another season, and I was looking at him in the ER when his arm was at a 45-degree angle. I would have given anything to take it from him so he could take the field and capitalize on all the work that the kid put in. He looked at me in the ER and he goes, Dad, don't worry. It doesn't hurt that bad. I'll be on the field soon. And I will never forget that because he didn't even have any of the medicine or anything at the time. 4 weeks later, when he was in a cast, he was itching to get on the field. So we let him play, Coach Dave and I. We let him play. He ended up hitting one-handed for the rest of the season, was one of our top batters. He was relentless, and he did great. It makes him better and more resilient than he is today. Every time he steps into the batter's box or takes that mound with a smile, he pushes me to not quit and be better. I will always love the kid, and I will always love everything he will be. Because he is stronger, smarter, and more caring than I ever will be. So I look back at Logan one last time, and I say, hey, Logan, you understand what a hero is now? He goes, yeah, Dad, I do. I said, good, because that was a long conversation. And I said, just out of curiosity, who's your hero? He looked at me, he goes, you. And Batman. At least that's somebody good to be with, I guess, right? So once again, I would like to thank everyone for all that they have done for me. I may be receiving this award today, but it is not mine, it is on your behalf because you didn't quit on a 2.1 GPA, smart mouth, average baseball player at any given time during the year. I would also like to thank all of the coaches, teachers, nurses, veterans, policemen, neighbors. Everything that you guys do matters. Because there's kids out there that aren't 4.0 at Ivy League kids. They're not going to make Stanford, Harvard. There's average kids that could be something great if you just don't quit and give them the opportunity to do something with it. So, with that being said, invest your time in the kids that need it. And they may turn out to be something special. Thank you all.